So, today's talk is about what I'm talking about in a way, in a mysterious way. Um, the meditation is around the heart center, and so I'm talking about heart, and I'm talking about the heart center. So this area here. I want to read something from, and I'm sure I've read this before, from Emmanuel's book, one of my our angel teachers for many years. And if we think about, if we hear the word love and we're thinking about the kind of the heart emotion, which often we do, because that's how we've been trained to think about the heart. There's a way of listening, but that isn't what this is about. Love. You will not exhaust the love in the universe if you are to absorb it from now until the end of time. Love is all that exists. Love is all that exists. Love is the universal communication. It is the energy that has created the universe and is keeping it going. All matter is formed by love. There is an organic love that speaks to everyone if they could but hear. A leaf holds together for love. I love that. A leaf holds together for love. Love can turn the world around, and it does. What did you think was spinning your planet if it wasn't love? And what do you think the fires of your sun consist of, and the cells of your body, and the stars in your sky, and the consciousness in your heart? It is all love. There is nothing but love. Don't let the masks and postures fool you. Love is the glue that holds the universe together. Love requires no practice. How could you practice that? Love requires no practice. Love is. One cannot practice isness. One can, however, practice the decision to love. So a leaf holds together for love. And if a leaf holds together for love, so do you. Just feel that. If we're talking about compassion, if we're talking about, love, that comes and that goes. That's more of a kind of has an emotional component to it. Or it has like the human love, human compassion has an emotional, has a kind of personal component to it. But this is a different understanding of love. You know, this is love as in the fabric of creation. It's in the fabric of life. It is actually who we are. Because if a leaf required the other kind of love, it would fall off the tree. You know, keep falling off the tree. You know, as we do, we're going to fall off the tree. That love falls off the tree. But this love, you know, you are already that. Now, this love is a fabric. It's a birthright. And if you can sense what that is, you can sense how, somehow, mysteriously, how a leaf holds together for love. And then just give yourself that. You will feel a subtle shift. You become connected. You realize, you know, I realize I am part of the fabric of life. And those moments of magic in TMW, you know, of those moments of magic when someone says something to us and it touches, we sometimes say, you know, that really touched me, that moved me, that touched my heart. And it's that place. You know, that allows, you know, it's the strength of that truth that is already resonating within us that creates the movement. And that movement, you know, when the movement comes from there, you know, there is no separation. You know, there's no sacrifice. There's no this for that. It's just abundant. If you listen to that movement of magic, you know, it's abundant. It's rich. You know, I am not doing it. It is filling me. You know, and when we move in that way, it's like prayer. I've said, you know, before, it's that you know, when Tai Chi movement is truly allowed, it's kind of like a prayer. And that's why, you know, that's why we all do what we do. You know, we all are doing this because of those moments. And the magic happens. And my work has been about understanding that and then listening to, well, what are the conditions that allow that? You know, and I've said before that initially someone gave me some silk pajamas and I just happened to be wearing them one morning practicing my Tai Chi, and all of a sudden my Tai Chi was exquisite. So I kind of thought it was in the silk pajamas, you know, so it's all silk pajamas all the time. Of course, that didn't last very long. I realized it wasn't in the silk pajamas. But nonetheless, my work, you know, over probably 20 years, it's hard to tell now. Could have been 10, could have been 15, could have been 20. It's still not over, of course. But there was a period of time when every time I stood up to do my practice, there was a part of me that was listening, waiting for that magic moment. Because I wanted to understand I didn't want just to experience it. I wanted to understand it. You should try it. And many, 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 many mornings, nothing. But when it came, I was ready to listen. And that's not a doing. That, it started out as a doing, but it can't be a doing. I'd get bored, I'd get downhearted, dispirited. Oh, this is silly. This is impossible. But there's that element of a leaf holding together for love. It's that quality. It's that can actually receive it when it comes. And out of that, and it wasn't that I didn't think about it the rest of the time. When these things happened, I could really feel what was going on. There was a part of me that was listening, kind of like a spiritual scientist. And there was a part of me that was experiencing and allowing it to happen. And then afterwards I would contemplate. And, bit by bit came this understanding, of the principles. And then I probably spent at least 10 years doing the principles. Aha, so this is the answer. So now I'm going to do this. And it kind of works. I'm going to put my tail down, I'm going to relax my mind, and open my heart. And it kind of sort of works, but it's an act. It's false. I mean, genuinely intended, but actually it became obvious that, and Marigold was hugely instrumental in helping me with this when we first got together, and started to realize that I was doing these principles. It'd become a formula. And then gradually, with Emmanuel's help and Marigold's help, gradually, coming to this place which understands that the principles are in us. I don't have to practice them. You can't practice isness, but you can be it. You can allow it to emerge. And what emerges is this quality of connection, because that's what the heart is. It's connection. And when that gets betrayed, we cut it off. We can't stand that. So, and quite naturally, so we cut it off, or we protect it. We put walls around it. I'm not going to let that happen to me again. And it's from perhaps an emotional place that we say that, but the real wound is in this deep place, kind of like a betrayal of some kind. So that when I started the journey of the heart principle, for me, when I looked, I realized I was completely numb. Nothing there. The wall was so thick. That heart was so broken that there was nothing there. I had no heart. I heard the words, I understood, didn't make any difference. And so there followed a period of time for me of literally approaching this physical place. And I would have in my mind Ram Dass's meditation, kind of like a mantra, if you like, which is relax the mind and open the heart. Relax the mind, open the heart. with each breath, relax the mind. Out breath. Breathe in, open the heart. Breathe out, relax the mind. Breathe in, open the heart. And it took about 2 years, thereabouts, to start to, and all of that was, what that was about was turning. It took about 2 years to turn. And to start to be before that place. And then the approach. And in that approach, there's lots of no. For me, there was a lot of no. But approach, gently, like approaching a kind of wounded wild animal. You can't go too fast. You have to go slowly. You have to go gently. You have to move at the speed of their fear and terror. And then they're reassured, and then you can take a step further. And then you can see them get frightened, and then they relax. And then you can take a step further. Because I'm a particularly bad case, I'm a particularly bad case. I have to kind of do this, it takes me a long time. It's taken me a long time. It is taking me a long time. It's not over. It's never over. But for some reason, it is the path that I take. And what that means is that allows me then to talk to you. Not as one who knows, but as one who's, is knowing. And it's always work in progress. There's no such thing as reaching the end. I have arrived. I always say that a true master knows they really don't know. I mean, if a master says they know, they absolutely don't. That's not a true master. A true master knows that they don't know. They know where to look. But that's the position of not knowing. It's kind of unknowing, an unknowing, and that allows something to arise or be seen fresh again. When I listen to those teachers, like I said, 20 years, I would sit with somebody every year for 10 days, and I could tell you pretty much what they were going to say next. But then I would surrender. And then I could hear the truth of what they were saying as though for the first time. And, for that layer of reality in me, you see, this bit has heard it before. But when I relax, it allows this bit that hasn't heard it before to hear it. And I can have a judgment about myself. Well, you thought you heard it before, you thought you heard it here now. You were just fooling yourself, But when that keeps happening, after a while, if you really look, it's not that. It's really that there are these different layers of truth, of knowing. And that's only going in one direction. That's going to that place where a leaf holds together for love. That's going to that place where I and you and we hold together for love. And I love Richard Moss's phrase, the I that is we. That place where I am we. in that place, there isn't a separation. And in that place, there's very little knowledge. It doesn't matter how many books you read, they're empty in that place. But there's wisdom, deep wisdom, which isn't learnt. It arises from this place. And so from that point of view, someone who's completely ignorant can be more wise than someone who's studied. So the meditation that we're going to take is about this, this third meditation, this third touching meditation. First meditation was touching the belly. The second meditation was touching the face and the mind, getting that sweep of unwrinkling. And the third meditation arises out of touching the center of the chest or approaching the center of the chest. And we're going to take that journey in a moment. And these aren't classical meditations. They're Richard Farmer classical meditations. You won't find them in the Buddhist sutras. I don't think you won't find them in the Taoist sutras. You won't find them. I don't think you'll find them anywhere actually. At least ways I haven't found them. So these are original meditations, and as such they may not work for you. As in, I can never guarantee when I lead a meditation that even I'm going to go where I'm asking myself to go. It doesn't work that way. But, again, that Zen saying that enlightenment is an accident. So become accident prone. And, what this does is put you in the zone where you're, where you're accident prone. You're going to accidentally get enlightened, kind of thing. So let's see where we go. So if you need to stand up and take a little stretch, then that would be a good thing to do.